Hey, Mortgage Coach community, Dave Savage, and I am doing another interview with Nicole Solari. What's up, Nicole?
Hello.
Hello. So, if you've never listened to one of the interviews I've done with Nicole, I've done two. I did a top producer interview. I also did a Skype interview that was just focused on her open house strategies. And then Bill Hart did an amazing interview. So, we'll put those in the links below. If you're watching this, you're watching it on YouTube. Below, there will be links to other interviews. So, Nicole, today I want to make it all about Inman Connect. You were just there in the Bay Area. You were a speaker, and I take it you learned a little bit. So why don't you first start with why did they ask you to speak, and what did you talk about, and then let's get into some other takeaways.
Yeah. So much fun. If listeners out there in the mortgage community, if you guys have not been, it is a blast, and it's for all kinds of networking, and you meet some really fun and cool people. And I actually sat on a technology panel this time, which was a little bit outside of my element, but it was really fun to speak to the technology side. The panel was why startups fail and how, mistakes that they make and how to make in the beginning and how to avoid them. And I sat on the panel with actually an angel investor and a VC guy. And so I got their perspective. And it was, obviously all I was thinking about was real estate, real estate, real estate. And then they were talking about, software companies and startups. And so it was really cool to take those concepts and apply them to how I run my business and my team. So yeah, that was really fun to watch that technology side and network with all the startups and the technology breakaways.
Well, you've done a great job. Just from the interview we did on open houses, it's super clear that you see yourself as a coach and advisor to families. It's very clear that you leverage technology in very appropriate ways. I love the way you're using your iPad at open houses. I love the way you're using it to manage your systems. Check out the interview I did with Nicole on open houses. And of course, I love how you're working with Jeremy Forcier, bringing the mortgage coach total cost analysis out there in the world. So you do a great job of that. Tell everybody a little bit about your team, your production, and how you're leveraging technology. And then let's just focus on takeaways and things that you're going to do different after going to Inman.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are a startup ourselves. We're pretty new as far as my team. We just have 18 agents. We just opened our second expansion office in Napa. So our home base is here in Solano, Fairfield, California. And we are on track to close to 300 transactions this year as a team. So very,
Not a,
very,
not a bad startup.
yeah, solid
Yeah,
startup for sure.
yeah. How many homes did you sell last year?
191.
So, killed it last year, take it to a new level this year. So, for someone that's that successful already, I'd love to hear some highlights to what you took away from this event and what you're going to do differently.
Yeah. So it was crazy. I sat on the technology panel and we're talking about technology and everything that's going on right now. One of my biggest takeaways was actually technology. I cannot believe how much is going on in our world and in our industry that's going to help us be able to sell homes faster, more efficiently, help the consumer. I think one of the panels that I sat on, the guy who spoke before me said that there's $25 billion being invested in real estate technology right now. Billion with a B. I mean, that is a ton of dough to help us streamline what we already do really well. And so one of my biggest takeaways was all of this technology and how it's going to change the way that we do business. I mean, one of the hot topics that Veronica from Remax in Florida talked a lot about was this Zillow instant offers and how that's disrupting the world. And that's technology. All of these things that are coming out. What is real estate going to look like in 2018 and 19 and so on? And I think it's going to be so different than the way that we do it now.
And by the way, you don't sound afraid because I talked to some agents and some referral-based loan officers are like, ah, my commissions are going away. I'm going to get disrupted out of the space. I don't sense that fear from you. Uh,
No, we have we have core values on my team. So I have a list of 18 core values, and one of them is we embrace technology. And we embrace technology because it is a good thing. It can only help us do our job better. And, as an agent, as a broker, as a consumer, we've got to embrace these new technologies. I mean, $25 billion isn't being spent for us to be scared of technology coming in and disrupting us out of the world. I mean, this is someone's usually largest financial decision when they go to buy or sell a home. They're not going to let Rosie the robot do it. We're still going to have a place in this business.
Right. As long as you embrace technology, because I am seeing a widening and a deep gap between the thrivers and the strugglers, both in the real estate space and the loan officer space. And I definitely see a clear trend that the thrivers are coaches and advisors that use technology incredibly efficiently. Was that kind of reinforced at the event?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that the people who are scared of this, the people who are worried that it's going to disrupt them out of the industry, they're not the people going to Inman Connect. They're not the innovators that are out there going, hey, how can we make this business better? It's, the old time realtor who doesn't even use DocuSign and is scared of DocuSign still. So I think that the people who, like you said, the gap that you're seeing there, the people who are embracing this, should not be scared at all. Even things like Zillow instant offers, which is kind of a scary concept, but we've got to realize that it's either going to survive or thrive, and if it survives, it's good for us.
Right. So let's talk about some tactics. Obviously you work with a lender that uses the mortgage code's total cost analysis. You believe in educating borrowers to make informed decisions. What are some other technologies that you're using, and what's something that you might do you're going to vet after this event? Like, what are some, even like an app, like, oh, I downloaded this app. Give us some goods.
Yeah, so there was what I really like about Inman is everybody's been to a real estate convention and you go to the breakout sessions, right? So I physically have to get up and go to the next session. What I love that they did is the sessions come to you. So there's a main stage, you sit, you find a really comfortable seat, and then it's boom, 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 presenter, panel after panel, presenter after presenter. And one of the things that they did was 5 best CRMs in 300 seconds, so 5 minutes, and they just jammed through them, and I loved it. It was like so much information in a short amount of time, and I have a list of apps that I can send to you to share in the comments, but I've already started using some of them. And some of this instant stuff too, technology in the luxury real estate world, online auctions, the instant offers, not just Zillow, but these other types of companies are picking up on this instant information type stuff. It's crazy. And I need to go back into my phone and organize all of the apps I downloaded, because I was literally I'm sure everybody else in the room was, because the internet was so slow. Everybody was just downloading app after app that came up on the screen.
So here's one thing we're going to do. So down below in the description, I'm going to put links to the other interviews I've done with Nicole. We're going to put a link to a Google Doc where we'll list out some of the apps. And then I would love to have a conversation, because if you're watching this, you're either a mortgage professional or a realtor, and you believe in coaching or advice, or you probably wouldn't be following the mortgage coach, and you believe in leveraging technology. So I would love to know, what's the technology that's boosting your success the most? I know in some of the past interviews I did with you, the way you use an app at open houses to get leads and follow up with leads. By the way, to get families to give you their contact information so that you can follow up with families and make friends. I know that that's a big technology for you.
Yeah.
Any other technologies you just like, if you wanted to call out one in today's call?
Good question. There's so many. I'm gonna I can grab my phone because I can't remember the name of the app that I just started using, but I'm super obsessed with it now. It's called Wunderlist, Wunde, or Wunderlist, and it's super organized. I'll include that. And then we also started using a new project management software called Basecamp. And what I love about Basecamp is that it's super collaborative. So instead of getting inundated with emails back and forth, or what I found out is a lot of people's pet peeve, reply to all, and then this person doesn't need to know about it. Basecamp is super great about being able to assign tasks and keep the projects moving. And I found that we're completing projects a lot faster using that app. So highly recommend those two for sure.
Okay, good. Well, I am going to be doing next Tuesday, 9 o'clock. It's going to be you and Tina Bellevue. Tina Bellevue is another amazing real estate leader on the East Coast. So we got West Coast, East Coast, Keller Williams, Remax. We're going to be masterminding on I think Tina is going to talk a lot about how she uses Facebook and social. You're going to be talking about how you're crushing it with open houses. So if you're watching this like this week when we recorded it, go to the live mastermind with Tina and Nicole. And if you're watching this and that date has sailed, you watch this in October of 2017 or later, we'll put a link to that mastermind session. So, hey, Nicole, thank you for being available for the Mortgage Coach community. If you get any other ideas, bring them to the mastermind call next Tuesday. And thanks for making 10 minutes for the Mortgage Coach community. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, hey, one last thing, everybody. Make sure that if you got value from this, you like it, you share it. And I'm also going to put a link to Inman and Inman Connect for the next one because it is a fantastic event. And there are not enough lenders attending this event to get smarter and better so they can be better leaders and partners to realtors. So check it out. Take care, Nicole.
Bye.